Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today for today's presentation to learn more about the Second Step Middle School program. I'm so excited that you all are here. Today we'll talk about the middle school program and the barriers to learning, the opportunities and challenges of adolescence and the middle school years, and the role of social emotional learning. I'll give you a thorough overview of our middle school program and tell you where to find more information and leave you with contact details at the end should you want to get hold of us for further information. So, an introduction at the beginning. My name is Forrest Walter and I'm part of the Education Partnerships team here at Committee for Children. I am a former teacher and educator and very excited to talk to you today about the middle school curriculum. Before we get started about social emotional learning and Second Step for middle school, though, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Committee for Children. We are a nonprofit based in Seattle, Washington, with a mission to foster the safety and well-being of children through social emotional learning. We are pioneers leading the field with our comprehensive approach, using solid research and connections to experts in the field to bring resources to schools and districts that make a difference in the lives of students, schools, and their communities. We are also a strong voice in advocacy, helping pass policies and legislation to support SEL, bullying prevention, and child protection at the state and federal level. Committee for Children was founded in 1979, so it's our 40th anniversary this year. As an organization, we believe and practice our motto, grow kinder, in all of the ways that we can, to support schools, districts, and community-based organizations to grow kinder as well. Our programs reach more than 15 million children each year in over 70 countries worldwide and in all 50 states. We are incredibly proud to reach this many children and impact communities around the world. And we also know that we couldn't do it without all of the dedicated teachers and counselors that deliver our programs each and every day. So I want to say, first and foremost, thank you for all of your efforts to help make our mission a reality. Committee for Children is best known for the Second Step program, not just better students, better people. It's a suite of programs that teach specific skills to students to help them navigate their world with social emotional competence and also provide a cohesive foundation for a safe and supportive learning environment and positive school climate. Mind Yeti for K-5 children and their adults to build mindfulness practice that helps calm, focus, and support SEL skills in the classroom and at home. It's a website and app that provides 5 to 6 minute audio sessions on topics like focus, gratitude, friendship, and empathy. If you haven't seen it before, I encourage you to go to mindyeti.com and sign up for our free sessions. Though it's aimed at K through 5, many people tell us that they have used it in middle school and even as adults. Today we are going to focus on our middle school program, but you can find in-depth webinars on our K-5 suite, bullying prevention, child protection, and Mind Yeti in the same place that you registered for this one. We also have recorded versions of our on-demand section as well. I hope you will join us for one of our other webinars to learn more. Let's start by thinking about middle schoolers. What challenge do they face? You probably have some in mind. It can be a really difficult time for some students, and you see them every day. Go ahead and type those ideas that you have in the chat box as you think of them. While you're doing that, just for our perspective, when we begin looking at creating an SEL program for grades 6 through 8, this was a question we asked many times over, and then we looked at how those challenges get in the way of learning and thriving in middle school. It's a great place to start when thinking about solutions. I see some of you are responding with your thoughts in the chat box. I see social stresses, bullying, peer conflict, peer pressure, social lives, finding their identity, trauma-filled home, challenges at home, self-esteem issues, anger management, lack of empathy. These are some great ideas. As we make this list, hopefully you've started to think about your classroom and the inner world of your middle school students. It can be daunting to think about the adolescents and the issues that keep them from being successful socially, emotionally, and academically during this age. So now let's look at the skills they need. Or let's put it this way. If we had all the time and money and buy-in from schools and staff, what skills would we teach them to help them be more successful? How about the ability to build positive relationships or good decision-making skills? Other skills we might add are things like the ability to see others' point of views, or communication skills, conflict management, ability to manage emotions, ability to make plans and follow through. They need these skills, and we can help them. It really comes down to this. We teach middle schoolers math, history, science, and other academic subjects, but how do we help them become better people? That question is at the heart of our 2017 middle school program. It's a social-emotional curriculum that supports the whole child. On that note, I'd like to play a short video for you, so please bear with me while I pull up the video.
So glad you guys were all courageous to be here today. We're gonna have an opportunity to get to talk about a lot of things, and some of those might be things you've never shared with anyone. We're gonna be watching a short video. After we watch the video, we'll be having some questions and opportunity for you to respond.
A couple years ago, I had bullied a kid.
And we started getting really mad at each other. We started having fights a lot.
Because my friends like, come on, bro, you gonna take that?
He wanted this girl to feel bad about herself.
I think the most difficult part was I don't think anyone wanted to truly hurt her.
I think that bullying has evolved.
If you have a phone, you have social media, nothing is private anymore.
Being different can be bad at middle school because it's easier for people to pick on you.
There were a lot of things that came up in that video. Just wondering what might have come up for some of you in watching that.
In middle school, most of the time you're trying to find out who you really are.
People don't feel safe because they know that they might get in trouble, and the teachers haven't seen that because it happens during passing periods. So if someone doesn't address that, then no one knows about it.
I've learned that if I just say, when I've talked to the person, they've always been nice to me, and I almost kind of realize that what they're doing isn't nice to others.
It's kind of a good experience sometimes, to make a mistake because you learn from that. So I'm glad that it happened because I learned from it and I came out of it with a good friend.
I'd like school to be a more accepting place.
I'd like middle school to be less judgmental. If I could say something to a teacher, I would tell them that it's not all about just being a good teacher, it's about connecting with the students.
I would ask them to really connect with the students so they can help us through hard times.
Be more understanding of your students and what they're going through. Because middle school is a time of change.
Thank you for watching that video. That video has a very powerful message straight from student voices, and I hope that it helps set the stage for the incredible opportunity schools and teachers have to make a positive difference in their student lives. Earlier, when we were talking about the challenges that middle schoolers faced, we touched on early adolescence. It's a time when academic expectations increase, friendships can become less stable, and it's a time when behavioral and health problems can emerge or worsen with negative consequences that can last into students' futures. What an incredible time of learning, exploration, and also risk. This is a time when social, emotional learning can really make a difference and help students succeed in school and in life. Okay, so let's make sure that when we talk about SEL, we're all talking and thinking about the same thing. On this slide are the 5 social-emotional learning competencies based on work by the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, or CASEL. You can find out more about CASEL, their research, and resources at casel.org. The 5 competencies are self-management, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, social awareness, and self-awareness. These competencies translate into understanding and managing emotions, setting and achieving positive goals, feeling and showing empathy for others, establishing and maintaining positive relationships over time, and making responsible decisions even in the face of peer pressure. The good news is that these competencies can be taught in many ways, across many settings, and are a great way to sum up what social-emotional learning can do to help students. Another related and interesting thing to look at are the top 10 skills needed to be successful in a career as identified by the World Economic Forum in their Future of Jobs report in 2015. They are complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision-making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. How many of them are related to SEL skills? Almost all of them. Something to think about when we think about time and effort in the classroom and how we can best prepare kids for their future careers is this list. With SEL competencies and workforce readiness in mind, let's dive into the research foundations for the Second Step Middle School program. For those of you who are familiar with Committee for Children, you know that as a nonprofit, we're set up to be 100% mission-driven, not profit-driven. That means we get to focus on results. We make sure everything we do is based on the best research and practice available as we create and revise our programs. You may be familiar with the previous versions of our middle school program, released in 2008. It has been widely used to help students communicate better, build empathy, manage emotions, solve problems, and prevent violence, drug abuse, and bullying. In creating this all-digital 2017 version, we looked at the latest research and developments in technology and SEL and realized that there was an opportunity to innovate. The research scientists we have on staff started the process with an investigation and analysis of research in the field. Our educational designers then brought their decades of curriculum development experience to incorporate modern technology in ways that improve the teaching experience and engage students. Then we put the program to test in the classrooms across the country with 2 years of piloting and refinement. And because it's a web-based subscription, we can continue to add resources and update content to respond to the latest research and user feedback. Let's drill into what you see here on this slide. Research shows that these 6 areas of social-emotional learning positively influence outcomes for youth. Social connectedness. When social connectedness is threatened, academic performance drops. Having a greater feeling of social connectedness increases academic achievement. Values. Reflecting on their values helps students maintain self-control and feel more socially connected and pro-social. This effect is actually stronger for youth who struggle with behavioral problems. Interventions based on values can improve students' grades. Growth mindset. Having a growth mindset about intelligence can affect students' academic goals. They believe they can learn versus they're thinking they're not smart or capable of being smart. They believe trying hard creates success rather than a lack of ability. And they respond to setbacks and difficulties by trying new strategies and working harder versus giving up. Emotion management. The research showed that adolescents can learn a variety of strategies to manage their emotions. The kind of stress common to middle school peer conflicts can hinder cognitive processing, making students' responses potentially more destructive. But learning specific skills, they can step back from emotional experiences in a way that increase their ability to choose how to respond rather than simply reacting to situations. Implementation intentions. Extensive research in this area has shown implementation intentions help people accomplish goals well above and beyond simple goal setting by itself. In this program, we explain a strategy to build implementation intention with what is known as an if-then plan. Setting goals with implementation intention is especially effective for students with self-regulation challenges. Last, we focus on perspective taking. Research shows that empathy reduces aggressive behavior in children and adolescents. Perspective taking has also been shown to reduce bullying among middle school students. To support this, skills and concepts related to perspective taking are woven throughout the program's lesson and advisory activities. This is just a snippet of the research that informed our development of the middle school program. If you'd like a deeper dig, There's a review of research document on our website that you can download at any time. By now, you might be thinking, let's have a look at the program. So my next video will give you a quick tour, and then I can expand on that. So bear with me while I pull up the next video.
The easy to navigate and easy to teach Second Step Middle School program engages students with relevant, interactive lessons, helps students develop social, emotional skills, and gives teachers everything they need to build a culture of connectedness. The program is web-based. Everything's online, so there are no boxes or notebooks to keep track of. Educators simply go online, project the lessons, and facilitate them. The online portal has 4 sections: Teach, Extend, Professional Development, and with school-wide licenses, a Principal Toolkit. In the Teach section, instructors can preview the material with minimal prep time, access lessons, and view progress. The intuitive interface makes it easy to navigate through the lessons together with students. Lessons cover a variety of topics that address the issues faced by today's middle schoolers. Many lessons feature game-like challenges to engage students. Videos introduce social-emotional concepts in developmentally appropriate ways that lead to dynamic discussions. Real Voices let students see and hear people their own age speaking out for themselves and coping with problems in different ways. All lessons include collaborative activities and discussion prompts to get students practicing their social-emotional skills right away. There are also summative assessments for each unit to help teachers evaluate whether the lesson objectives have been met. In the Extend section, advisory activities help you reinforce lesson concepts or build a complete advisory program around Second Step lessons. Choose from nearly 200 activities based on 14 program themes. Under SEL and Academics, you'll find academic lesson plans, SEL rubrics, academic and behavioral standards alignments, and other useful resources. Extend Second Step skills to the home through family letters, weekly updates, and the resource website parentingconnect.org, which offers real stories, expert advice, and practical tools to help families communicate, connect, and break through on hot-button topics. The Professional Development section includes a wealth of support materials to prepare educators for delivering the Second Step program. Program Training offers an overview of core concepts and the research base for the lessons, plus teaching tips for successful student learning. There is also a dedicated training module for building a Second Step advisory program. Professional Learning supports educators by helping them reinforce their own social-emotional skills and build a growth mindset, and by providing strategies for positive student-teacher relationships. Both Program Training and Professional Learning are designed with busy schedules in mind, with modular learning experiences that can be completed individually or in a group. We know that a principal's active support is crucial to the successful implementation of the Second Step program. Your school-wide license will unlock the Principal Toolkit, which is loaded with resources to promote, support, and monitor the success of the program throughout the school. With school-wide implementation that builds a culture of connectedness, you'll maximize the impact of the program on school climate and student outcomes. We hope you enjoyed this short tour of the Second Step Middle School program, and we can't wait for you to experience leading-edge social-emotional learning in your classrooms.
Thank you for watching that video. I know it's pretty fast moving, so let's recap and go a bit further, talk about what's in the program, starting with the lessons. There are 26 lessons in each grade spread across 4 units. Unit 1 covers mindsets and goals. This is a unit in which students develop a growth mindset and learn research-based strategies for achieving those goals. The lessons can be applied to social and academic aspects of their lives. Unit 2 is about values and friendships. Students learn to make decisions based on their personal values and to build strong friendships and relationships while avoiding negative ones. This unit helps teach students about possible values and choose the ones that are important to them. Unit 3 is about thoughts, emotions, and decisions. In this unit, students are taught the relationship between thoughts, emotions, and decisions, and learn strategies for staying in control when they are experiencing strong emotions. Unit 4 covers serious peer conflicts. Students are taught how to identify, avoid, and resolve serious conflicts. They are also learning about strategies to prevent bullying and harassment. It's worth noting here because I know a lot of you are wondering about the bullying component for our middle school curriculum. That though we do have a few lessons that teach specific skills to prevent bullying, the power behind those strategies are the skills they learn throughout the program that build a positive school climate, school connectedness, stronger friendships, empathy, conflict resolution, and assertiveness. In the video, we also talked about advisory activities. About 2/3 of middle schools nationwide have an advisory program in some form or another. With the Second Step Middle School program, not only do educators get the resources they need to teach social-emotional learning lessons, they also get everything they need to complement an existing advisory program or create a new one from scratch. Nearly 200 scripted class meetings, class challenges, and service learning projects are included as activities to reinforce the SEL lessons or serve as standalone activities. Any staff member can access them with a school-wide license, and the user interface makes it easy for them to search these resources by themes such as relationship skills, resilience, or growth mindset. For your specific advisory format, you may want to check out our advisory program guide that you can download on our website. Provides a variety of sample schedule scenarios along with the activity samples. You may be wondering about professional development. The purple section you see on screen is our professional development section. It provides staff with 2 learning opportunities. Program training teaches program concepts, research, and teaching tips. In professional learning section, a series of short modules help build school staff's own social-emotional skills. Both can be completed individually or in groups. Last, for administrators, the Principal Toolkit adds support to their important function. With implementation tools and an online dashboard, they can easily keep tabs on the program's use and success. This part of the program is available with school-wide license only. School-wide license comes in 1, 3, and 5-year subscriptions, and individual licenses are available for 1 teacher and 1 grade level also. Also included are on-demand tutorials, an SEL rubric, academic resources, and family communications. As a support for families, we also have Parent-Teen Connect, a free public website that anyone can access at parentteenconnect.org. This online resource was designed by the same team of social-emotional learning experts who built the Second Step Middle School program, and it's highly complementary. It brings together SEL concepts and strategies, new real voices of students, and real-world parenting advice from experts to create opportunities for parents and teens to communicate and connect. We won't go there now, but if you have a moment to explore it separately, you'll find conversation starters, quizzes, videos of teens and parents sharing their views and experience, a wealth of expert advice from adolescent parenting expert Dr. Laura Kratzner, and go-forward planning tools. Parent-Teen Connect is also woven into the Second Step Middle School program itself. There are 8 advisory activities in the program that challenge students to think about different perspectives around the topics highlighted on Parent-Teen Connect of screen time, independence, responsibility, and communication. Students are then prompted to take the conversation further at home using the resources on parentteenconnect.org. So again, this resource is a family outreach component of Second Step Middle School program that also happens to be a free resource open to the public. Now you should have a pretty good idea of what's in the program. From SEL lessons and advisory activities to home resources, we know it's important to you that the program is research-based and that it's comprehensive. Hopefully we've demonstrated that it's both of those things. It's also responsive to the needs of today's middle school teachers and students. What do we mean by that? One thing we know for sure is that in order for an SEL program to be successful, it has to work for teachers and the daily demands placed on them. So what are teachers saying? They like that it's easy to use. It has an intuitive interface that teachers have really embraced. The lessons require very little prep time and take about 25 minutes each. We worked hard to make this program fit into an already crammed schedule. Teachers also love the flexibility. With all of those advisory activities we talked about, they're free to expand or adapt content based on their classroom's unique situation. As far as variety, it's a real strength of the program, and there is so much material, enough to cover weekly lessons for each grade level. The lesson design and different kinds of activities really help teachers connect with students and engage each type of learner. It's designed for teachers to be part of the program as facilitator, not as a lecturer. The program is fully loaded, as we already talked about, but the fact that everything you need is included, combined with the fact that it's fully accessible online, makes it easy to bring social emotional learning to all your students, whether we're talking about classroom, a school, or a district. Though the lessons are easy to teach and the activities are engaging, we have created a series of videos that you can find on our website to show how lessons can look in a classroom. On this screenshot, you can see that there are 4 videos that run through the program components. Let's watch the first one, How to Teach Second Step Warm-Up. This will give you a closer look at teaching the program in a collaboration between the teacher and the students that is engaging, and how easy it is to facilitate a meaningful lesson. So please bear with me while I pull up the next video.
Teaching a second step middle school lesson uses teaching techniques you may already use in your own classroom. Here are some tips and tricks for facilitating a successful lesson.
Welcome guys, good to see you guys today. So today's lesson we are going to be talking about starting middle school, okay? So starting middle school is one of those transition points in your life, right? With education, you have elementary, middle, and then high school. So this is one of those big transitions that you guys have to think about, right? So we're going to be talking about middle school today and what are some of the feelings that happen when we start or when we go through one of these big transitions, okay? So let's have a quick discussion here. What is one thing that makes you nervous when you think about starting middle school? Yes.
Well, a bunch of my friends from elementary school, actually almost all of my friends, went to a different middle school, and now I never see them, and so I kind of had to start over a little bit socially.
Yeah, that's really hard, right? Because when you go to a middle school, yeah, people separate, right? Yeah. And when you get there, you might see a lot of familiar faces, but you might miss some people that you had a relationship with before, right? And that's something that you really can't control. So those are some hard things. Does anyone else have anything something that thinks about that makes you nervous? Yeah.
I had to transit to a different school, like in a different district, so I had to start like fresh and I had 0 friends.
Yeah, that can be really hard because parents, they know it's a transition time, so lots of times parents will wait to move us to different schools, right? When you know, or when they'll move out of town or something like that. And when you're starting at a new place, that can bring up a lot of different feelings as well. Did anyone else have anything? What's something that makes you nervous or, yes?
I'm nervous about the homework and like having to deal with all of the classes that I'm gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely, because we know that middle school, they're preparing you for high school, right? So you're gonna have to go rotate throughout the building, you're gonna have a schedule, you're gonna have all these different teachers, all these different classes. That's like 6 different places where to sit. Maybe there's a few different lunches. That's a lot to think about, right? That's a lot to keep track of. Yes?
Grades, because in elementary school you don't get graded on a letter grade, you get graded on like 1 to 4. And so it's quite a shift.
It's hard too, and you're in that one place so you know that teacher really well, how they're gonna grade. So you think about, I have a history teacher, I have a science teacher, I have like a new PE teacher, and you have to kind of figure out, right, what each different teacher, what they're gonna be like, how they grade, when they want things, where you need to turn it in, all those different things. That's a lot of stuff to think about, right? So is there anything else that makes you guys nervous a little bit? Yes?
Like, there's a lot of people around you, which makes it...
It's big.
Like, it gives me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, walking through the hallways, there's a lot of people out there and some pretty big students, right? You got those big 8th graders, 7th graders, all that stuff, right? That's a lot. Yeah, that can definitely make us nervous.
Thank you so much for watching that video. I'd love to talk now about why students love it. And it's simple, it's relevant. First, we created engaging, discussion-based content that's practical for situations both in and out of the classroom. Many lessons feature videos of real kids talking about issues applicable to their daily lives. And with the program's depth and range of material, lessons always feel fresh and interesting. One thing that makes this program stand apart is the strength and variety of its media content. 70 videos are woven throughout the program that bring lessons and scenarios to life. In fact, the program's videos were recently honored with the 2018 CINE Golden Eagle Award for Children's Programming. Just to pause on how the program promotes student agency, students learn to solve conflicts on their own, which is especially important since teachers don't control what's happening with their students outside of school or online. And the way the program is taught, with teachers facilitating instead of lecturing, removes the wall between teachers and students. It makes the teacher a part of the lesson. We've heard over and over how important that dynamic is in helping teachers and students forge a real connection. And as you heard in the first video I showed you, that connection really matters to students. They need to have you on their side of the table to have these conversations in an authentic way. The Second Step Middle School program includes some unique videos that I mentioned earlier called Real Voices. I want to show you an example of one of those type of videos now from an 8th grade lesson on values. Just a note to reassure you, this program does not teach students the values that they should have. It helps them to uncover and align to the values that they already have from their own experiences, their family, and their communities. So please bear with me while I load the next video.
A few values that are important in my life is creativity. If you're creative, you're going to think outside the box, find new ways to do something.
I think kindness and compassion and empathy are the values that I value the most.
3 values that are important to me are kindness, curiosity, and respect.
Another one is forgiveness. Every relationship is going to have more than 2 arguments, and I feel like that if you can forgive the person really well, then you can rebuild the thing you caused each other.
I value trust because it's hard to make trust and build a trustworthy relationship with someone.
I value self-determination. I think that it's important for everyone, but it's very important for me to be able to choose what I want to do and being able to determine my path in life.
I think being honest and straightforward to someone's a very important thing. I think being respectful and equal to people is important. Not treating anybody differently regardless of their race or gender or anything like that.
Empathy. If you never have empathy, then you'll never learn to help others. And helping others is very important because then they can know that they're in a safe environment and they'll know that they can go to you or you can go to them as a friend.
Thank you for watching that video. Although a number of elements can influence the quality of a school's implementation, research consistently shows that the most important factor is principal leadership and support. It's vital to the implementation of any social-emotional learning program that principals are on board. The Second Step Middle School program's Principal Toolkit provides tools and resources to help principals support the program's success in their schools. There are resources for communicating within the school and wider community, tools for monitoring progress, and recommendations for evaluating outcomes. Together, these tools give principals everything they need to set a course for success, track program progress, gain teacher and community buy-in, and ultimately achieve the positive outcomes of school-wide social-emotional learning. As we finish up today, I'd like to give you a glimpse into some of what teachers and students have told us about their experience with the program in their classrooms. So bear with me while I load another video.
When you take a look at this think and share, what thoughts
do you think that these students are having? When you look at each one of those students, they kind of have different expressions and things like that. What do you think that they're thinking right now? My students love the Second Step program. From the very first time that I've showed the lessons digitally, they love it because it's something different every day.
Every kid needs that common language and needs the ability to feel comfortable before they can do anything academic. So it's so important, I feel like, to be able to know that, yes, we're here to learn academics, but also we're here to grow as a person.
That social component of middle school is everything. You know, if you can manage your emotions, then you're going to learn at school. And if you can't, then you're not going to learn anything because you're in that emotional brain.
Do you remember the beginning of the year we did these character building? If I was to talk to another teacher to share about the Second Step program, I would tell them it's awesome. I would tell them I love it. And the children love it. They ask, are we doing Second Step today? They want to do the program. What are the values that
I love the digital curriculum because I love that I can preview what we're looking at before the kids come in the door. I love that I can look at the online resources. I don't have to print anything out unless I want to. The kids are much more engaged in a digital component. There's something on the screen, there's something they can do, they can talk to each other. Then I'm going to reach every learner in the room. And that's what I want to do in every lesson.
There's cooperative activities, there's videos, there's independent writing. It's a little bit different every lesson, and that's what I like about it. It's routine because the kids know what to expect, but they don't know how it's going to be laid out exactly every lesson.
If I could go back in time and I could fix that.
I've really enjoyed having the Real Voices because it's given us a bunch of chances to see how people see their problems differently and how they cope with them. It's cool to know that they're speaking out for themselves and you're not hearing it through someone, so it's actually their personal experiences and it's like real life.
Hearing kids their age talk about these things, it's so much better than having, old me tell them, what things were like back in my day. When we have advisory on Friday, I know what I've already taught, and I know what the kids are struggling with socially, so I'm able to frame our advisory around what's going on, here are the resources, this is what we talked about, and bring it back in and have them come up with solutions within those components.
Why do people say some things online or in a text that they would never say to you in person? Yes.
It's less intimidating to take that a text message than to say it to someone.
It's less intimidating. Very good. It's relevant for them because it does bring in their issues of today. This is not old school. This is something that's happening right now that they need to understand about themselves, about others. So I believe it's absolutely relevant to today's society and the issues going on in the world.
I think students should learn about online values because they sometimes say things and they don't even know why, but most of the times they won't say it directly to that person because they're scared or insecure.
I think it's important because it can help us out in real life and it's relatable, so we can use it on an everyday basis.
That one's a hard one because everybody is.
It's been nice because it talks about social media. It talks about internet safety to a degree. It also talks a lot about their relationships and what they're dealing with and kind of how to deal with those things. So a lot of the things that kids normally won't bring up on their own, they're actually bringing up based off of the conversations that we're having in the classroom through Second Step.
I think Second Step should be in every school. Our students need it. That students need a forum to talk about what it is they're feeling. I think a lot of times things in the world happen because we've not given students a forum to express themselves, and I think Second Step allows that.
Thank you for watching that video. Whether you're just beginning to think about SEL or you're in the middle of your review process, or if you're just curious and want more information about this program, here's some useful things we have online for you to take the next step. This information will be included in your follow-up email. Notice that there are documents with more in-depth coverage of the program's features and underpinnings, as well as academic and behavioral standard alignments. We also have a series of Meet the Makers videos that allow you to really step into our offices and hear what went into this program and why, which you can find at this URL. Ready to try it out? Our 1-month free trial is more than just a demo. Access the entire program, including the lessons, principal toolkit, advisory activities, and professional development modules for a full 30 days. Licensed administrators can invite other staffs to preview the program, even teach a lesson or two, or complete one of the online training modules during that 30 days. And then when you are ready to start, we have 1-year, 3-year, and 5-year subscriptions available. Please see our website for current pricing. With that, we'll end our time together. I hope this has been helpful. Please reach out with any questions as you dive deeper into the Second Step Middle School program or consider Second Step for your schools. If you are on a committee, leadership team, or task force for your district, we are always happy to provide an overview like this one at a time that is convenient. So please feel free to call or email to get connected to the right person for your area to get it scheduled. And please call or email at any time along the way. Our client support team is amazing. Many of them are former educators, and all of them are passionate and knowledgeable about social emotional learning and looking forward to talking with you. I know that taking an hour out of your day is especially challenging for educators, so thank you again for taking the time to learn about Second Step Middle School. And thank you all for all of the work you do every day to support students. We know that in order to reach our vision of safe children thriving in a peaceful world, we could not do it without you. With that, I'll say goodbye, and I hope to see you again on another webinar soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.